boxing know how good Dmitry Bivol is. To the casual fan, they say, look, Canelo can't get beat. But anyone that knows their boxing knows that this is a very, very tough fight. 50-50, hard to say that against a Canelo Alvarez, but probably one of the most competitive fights of his career so far.
Eddie, what do you make of the weight?
I mean, I don't think Canelo's making weight. You know, Dmitry Bivol is definitely making weight. And Dmitry Bivol will rehydrate to about 195 pounds tonight. Don't forget, Canelo said no to a rehydration clause, and he also said no to a catch weight because he just felt like that wouldn't be a proper, proper rules for a light heavyweight world championship. But really, Canelo's going to come in the ring tomorrow, probably 180 pounds maximum, and Bivol's going to be at least 190 in there tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting.
How do both men win this fight, in your opinion?
For Dmitry Bivol, you use your size, use your great feet. You try and keep him on the outside, which is again very difficult to do. And for Canelo Alvarez, you walk him down, you cut the ring off, and you beat him up to the body, you wear him down, and you stop him late. I think that's what he has to do in this fight. But I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo had to come from behind, like he did against Sergey Kovalev, to win this fight. And this is a much tougher fight than Sergey Kovalev. Much tougher fight.
You said yesterday.
Unbelievable.
They always come out,
it's
but that was, it looked like a
10
festival.
degrees there. Wait till you see tomorrow night. The atmosphere in the T-Mobile is going to be amazing, and they're amazing fans.
Eddie, you had a big bet last week with Jake Paul. Who are you betting on this week?
I don't know. I would never bet against Canelo Alvarez, but I tell you what, this is Dmitry Bivol has been so calm all week, even today. So I give him every chance in this fight, but he's fighting arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time.
What problems do you think Bivol submits?
Size, great feet, good power, good engine, fresh.
I meant what kind of problems do Bivol present to?
All those things what I just said.
Yeah.
Great feet, speed, power, great engine, freshness, smart boxing IQ, all of those things. I mean, he has been in with some big punchers. Joe Smith, Pascal. Is Canelo a massive puncher at 175? We'll find out tomorrow night.
You said yesterday that Canelo wants to get back to having great fights.
Yeah.
Does this, more than anything, maybe since Golovkin, allow him to be in a great fight?
Well, they all should be great fights. Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant, but he's just been too good.
Yeah.
All the time. Daniel Jacobs, Sergey Kovalev, they're all great fights, but he's just been too good. This is another great fight, and we're going to find out if he's just too good again.
Have you been in touch with Golovkin? What's he going to be doing? Is he watching the fight?
He'll be watching at home. I think he doesn't feel like he wants to disrespect Dmitry Bivol by being here and turning up and that kind of stuff, but he'll be tuned in for sure.
Has he said anything in the last day or so? Have you talked to him in the last day about the fight and everything that's coming?
No, not really. We've been talking to his team a lot.
Did you try to bring him here to Las Vegas so he could be ringside?
He was going to come on Wednesday to do some bits and pieces, but chose not to. So I think he wants to see what happens in the fight, and then you'll hear from him.
Eddie, if this goes past halfway, who does that favour?
I would be shocked if it didn't go past halfway. I would be shocked because Dmitry is very cute, very clever, very smart. I think it's definitely going to go past the halfway stage.
Eddie, a bit of a win-win for you here. I mean, if Canelo wins, obviously you keep your pound-for-pound star. He goes up against Golovkin. If Bivol wins, we've got a new star emerging in the sport.
Yeah, it's always good to represent both guys, but you just
let us get one back here, guys.
You give them the opportunity to go and secure their legacy. For Bivol, that's what this is about, and for Canelo, it's about continuing the legacy.
How do you think the weight difference in the height will affect Canelo?
I just said earlier, he has to handicap himself every time to be in tough fights. Like, he has no business being at 175 pounds. He didn't have to make weight. Probably had to drink himself up to 174. He'll get in the ring at 176, 177, 180 tops. Bivol will get in the ring at 195, 190. So he has to handicap himself to be in competitive fights, and that's what he's doing.
Eddie, so SoFi Stadium is in the running for Canelo Triple G?
Correct. About 3 or 4 different venues in the running. If Saul wins tomorrow night, perhaps we'll have some news on that fight.
What's the best fight on the undercard?
For me, Golaz against Montana Love, great fight, but I love Shakran Girsov against Gomez, great fight. I tell you what as well, Alexis Espino against Aaron Silva on Before the Bell, another great fight. I'm looking forward to the heavyweight fight as well.
Do you think he'll ever go down and face Charlo?
No, I mean, he'd have to be up at where he wants it to be, and that he would never go beneath 168 again.
Right. There's not too many people with the skill set of the power of Canelo. how do you think somebody like Bivol can prepare for this? Like, how many people can you really bring in camp that's, you
can't really. I mean, no one's going to bring a style and a confidence like Canelo Alvarez, but you know, he has a fantastic team in world of boxing, Joel Diaz and all those guys, you know, from that area of the world. It's a tremendous camp up there in California, and they would have prepared with the best sparring they could find.
Eddie, you promoted millions of cards. What makes cards with Mexican fighters special?
Just the atmosphere, the passion, the energy from the support. You saw it today. Where are you ever going to see that? You see that from one or two fighters in the world. Anthony Joshua, Canelo Alvarez, but it's the passion that they have for their guy, and he's a very proud Mexican.
This is your first big fight in Las Vegas. How does it feel for you?
Amazing. I mean, we've done Haney Linares, Haney Diaz, but this is my first lead promotion of a big card, and it's amazing. It's a dream come true, coming off the back of Taylor Serrano. So great momentum.
What's the arena going to be staged to tomorrow? As far
Full
as
capacity, whatever that is, 19,500. I think we've got a few hundred tickets left at expensive prices that'll all go today. So it'll be completely sold out.
And how's the pay-per-view tracking?
Good. Very early. 95% of the pay-per-views are done within the last 3 or 4 hours of the fight, but tracking extremely well. And a lot of people starting to become very intrigued by this fight. Early on, didn't know too much about Bivol. They see him, they listen to him, and they just start to understand. They listen to the boxing media, they listen to fighters, some picking Dmitry Bivol to win this fight, and then they start realising this is a real fight tomorrow night.
And of course, everyone looks forward to what is going to be Canelo's future with Golovkin. Is there going to be a specific catch weight, or is it going to be at 168?
It will be at 168.
Do you think this is setting the trend for big fights?
Fans want to know, when are you fighting Jake Paul?
Nah, it's too easy. Too easy.
Do you think this is setting the trend for big fights?
Sorry?
Do you think this fight is setting the trend for big fights? Us being able to see major fights.
Just see great fights. Like Canelo does it every time. His last 10 fights have been against 8 champions that he's taken the belt from. It's incredible. It's the best resume in boxing by a mile, and he'll fight anybody.